Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the Bitcoin Baron. This is my first YouTube video, and I'm going to be going over Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin, the title of this video is going to be Time is Running Out for Bitcoin, which it is, and it always is. But this is my theory, and this is what I'm really saying here. So, these are the multi-year trend lines, just to get into it. These are the multi-year trend lines, and this has been a trend line for a very, very long time, and we finally decided to break out. This was the big breakout spiked by fake BlackRock news, which pumped us up, which I don't think is good because it's not real news, but it's a bit worrisome to me. And then this similar thing happened around here. We had the same exact formation. We ended up this was the COVID crash, Black Swan event, and then this was right after the halving in I believe May. Our halving is coming up. Let's see. So I drew this box for you guys. This is the Bitcoin halving right here, and this is the 6 month period between where we are now, pretty much 6 months, and the Bitcoin halving. We're 6 months away, or a little bit less than 6 months. So in this period, we tend to actually trend downwards. I mean, it really depends on the market, but typically the pre-halving year consists of 50% of the year up and 50% of the year down. We've been going up for a good amount of time now, and this pump is not very promising to me personally, but everybody can look at it how they want to. But when everybody gets extremely bullish in the market, when I go on Twitter and everybody's posting stuff like, oh, we're going to this, we're going to this, it actually gives me some worry because that's not how the market moves. The market moves based off of people thinking it's going the other way. So if everybody gets, if we're still up here, we're probably going to trend here for a while, maybe trend down slowly, just like around here. But whenever I see a good sign to really get in, a good sign to see is when you go on Twitter or YouTube and everybody's calling for lower prices and like a big drop, which is not entirely impossible, but just not probable because of the buying pressure and all that. So pretty much what happens with liquidity is like right around here, right? Everybody was like, "Oh, we're going to 8K, we're going to 8K," and I never believed that for a second, and everybody could scream me whatever on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Oh, we're going to 8K." Bam, pump. Same thing here, pump. Same thing here, pump. We're gonna start trending down a little bit possibly, and then maybe we're gonna get a little dip possibly. You never know. If the market moves based off news and based off a lot of different factors, but the main mover for the market is overall retail sentiment. When retail is betting on it going down, the market goes up, and vice versa. This is around the same time last year. This is 6 months before the halving last year, or last halving. So this was the COVID Black Swan event. This kind of skewed the market, but I honestly believe that if this event didn't happen, we would kind of just might have trended up or sideways, and we would have just pretty much crossed that bridge and did the same exact thing. But pretty much before this pre-halving here, this is obviously an amazing time to accumulate Bitcoin and load up your cold storage wallets. This is an amazing time to do that. And theoretically and statistically, if you were to buy Bitcoin in this pre-halving year, if you were to buy Bitcoin at the time of the halving, for every single halving, if you bought at the time of the halving, you would have been in profit 2 years later at the top of the peak. You would have 100% been in profit. This is a perfect buy zone. This is exactly the halving. And same with right here. But I recommend dollar cost averaging. So whenever we get a decent dip, or if not, just every certain amount of times, just keep buying Bitcoin no matter what the price is, because eventually, if Bitcoin's up here somewhere at some crazy price point, you're not kicking yourself for buying it, up here, whatever, because it doesn't matter. Because if Bitcoin goes to $1 million one day, which is possible, I'm not gonna say it's probable, but it's definitely possible. If it does go to $1 million one day, it's not really a matter if, it's a matter of when. But if it does, you're not going to be kicking yourself over buying 30K or 33K. It doesn't matter because you're still making money. And then another thing I wanted to show you guys. So here's a few things that I wanted to go over. So this is from Stock Money Learns on Twitter. I like this guy's stuff. He does a very good job of visually displaying how the market works towards other people. And so these are all the bull market cycles based off of the Bitcoin halving and the support and resistance. And usually it's the 48 Fibonacci. This one, I think the 48's up here, but it's the Fibonacci levels and the resistance, support, whatever. But whenever we break this long resistance, just like we did here, we've had this long resistance. We've been trying to break this. I remember during this time, everybody's like, oh, we're breaking it. Nope. Breaking it. Nope. Just consolidating. Then we finally decided to break it. That's typically what happens. Same thing that happened here. Tried to break it, nope. Tried to break it, tried to break it. Then we finally broke it. Once we get something like that, that's a very very good sign that we are in the bull market. And everybody's gonna have different opinions. Be like, oh, it hasn't started yet. Oh, the halving hasn't came yet. But typically, what happens in a bull market is it's not considered a bull market until it's too late because people don't see it coming, and then all of a sudden we pump to astronomical numbers, and then everybody decides to buy in, retail decides to buy in, and they make money, but most of them lose money. Another thing, here is a multi-year trend chart. I believe this is 2018 top, and then this is to where we are in late 2023, almost 2024. So this also shows the support and resistance lines that we were looking at. So once we break the main key support of each cycle, or the key resistance of each cycle, that's typically the sign of a bull market. There is a possible chance that we do get an early bull cycle this time around. There's a few theories to this, but it could also trend sideways and pump around here. But there is also a chance that we do something similar to this. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but there is always a chance that anything can happen. But pretty much what I'm seeing here is that this top right here, there was a double top, and everybody says this is the Bitcoin top. I don't believe that was the case. I believe that this was the Bitcoin top. And then this was when the US dollar decided to dump, and then it kind of reflected over to Bitcoin, and everybody got psyched out saying it's a double top or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So topped out, came down, whatever. Topped out, we would have came down, whatever. Same exact thing. And then pumped up, wasn't as strong as this pump. Pretty much consolidated, tried to break this trend line. We didn't have COVID, so we've been chilling, and then we broke it. So that is looking very, very bullish. And one of the last things I wanted to show you guys that might help your outlook on where we are in this cycle, and doesn't really matter what other people think, because it's very very important to make your own point of view. I've been in this market for over 6 years, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I bet a lot of people have, listening to other people and forming opinions based off of what other people say. I believe that is definitely a great tool based off of facts, statistics, mathematical analysis, and charting. But if somebody tells you to do something, don't just immediately do it. Do your own research before you do it. Make sure that you really, really are full of conviction when you make plays in any sort of financial market. So, same thing. We have the same triangle every single bull market. 2012, triangle, breakout. 2016, triangle, breakout. 2020, triangle, breakout. 2023, same exact thing over and over again. What tends to happen in these markets really is a lot of people, this happens every single bull market, but everybody thinks it's going to be different this time. Every single time the bull market comes, everybody's like, oh, it's going to be different, but it's not. It's just not. It's never different. It's always the same exact thing over and over again. It's always like, even I sometimes are like, is this really going to be this easy again? And it typically is. It really it kind of sounds kind of crazy, but you're like, man, is it really that easy? But I could tell you. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it is, but I'm going to tell you. Typically, it is. But here's also the traditional market. This is just going to end off the video. But we're also getting a drastic pump in the traditional markets. This is S&P 500 SPY ETF Trust. This is the main traditional market. So pretty much we're getting a massive pump, lots of gap ups in the past few days, and I don't think this is healthy. I don't think this is sustainable, and I think that this is not good. But the only reason this pump is happening is because the US dollar, aka DXY, is taking a dump, which is very very good sign to see, and I'm happy to see that. That's very very good. Because once this US dollar starts losing its strength, that's when we really get into the bull market. Once we go down here, whatever, if we get on here, that's when we start to see some real strength. It all comes down to a lot of macro and a lot of stuff like that. And one of the main factors is also the Fed. I'm going to be doing a separate meeting on Jerome Powell and the Fed and what I think is going to happen with rates and how that correlates to Bitcoin. This is my first YouTube video. I hope you guys liked, and if you are one of the few to watch this video, please like the video, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good day.